Well, welcome back to Living Local. It's time to check in with Movie Mike once again for a look at what's old and what's new. Arts editor for the River Cities Reader is Mike Schultz. Joins us, and we're going to take a look at some of last week's movies you enjoyed, might not have enjoyed, and then a little bit of some new stuff.
It wasn't a bad week overall for me.
That's good to hear.
Yeah.
It didn't seem like it was going to fare well.
No, I was worried going into that one, absolutely.
Yeah,
but it was okay.
Okay,
yeah.
good to hear. And there was one movie in particular you liked, mid-90s.
Mid-90s. I really enjoyed this. This is writer-director Jonah Hill. Of course, is a very familiar on-screen presence, but he's not in the movie at all. But it's a story of a 12 or 13-year-old kid in Los Angeles growing up in the mid-90s and falling in with a group of skateboarders and kind of dealing with life, dealing with, trying to skateboard, trying cigarettes for the first time, coming home late from hanging out, and dealing with his single mom. It's really beautiful. It's really well acted. It reminded me, we talked a little bit last week about how it looked like 8th Grade, the movie that came out this summer. And it's very much like that. It has the same tone. Fantastic performances. Lucas Hedges is great, and Catherine Waterston. And the kid who plays the young lead, his name is Sonny Soljic, who is also in The House with a Clock in Its Walls. That came out just a few weeks back.
Yeah, that one.
Tremendous young talent. I love just about everything about it. It's like a really strong and profane after-school special.
Cool.
But I mean that as a compliment.
Yeah, that's really good. And we talked about Jonah Hill. He's just very talented.
He's tremendous.
Kind of one of those that flies under the radar talent-wise, but he's really good.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Go see it if you get a chance. It's,
for sure,
it's
for
really
sure.
good.
Now, one you might not see, Hunter Killer. You didn't like this one too much.
Hunter Killer. This wasn't as bad as I thought. This is the submarine thriller with...
that's a compliment, for sure.
With Gerard Butler. There's a submarine that's been downed in Russian waters, and he has to go rescue the crew. And it turns out there's this rogue Russian colonel who wants to take over the presidency, and he's bombing his own subs and our subs, and it's just a mess. On the plus side, though, it's kind of a fun mess. It's got some images that are really great.
Yeah.
It moves quickly, considering it's 2 hours. It moves fast, and Gerard Butler isn't that offensive. He shaved for a change, which was nice of him to consider.
He didn't look too grisly.
He doesn't look too much like Gerard Butler. So yes, and basically he's just there to stare at screens and say fire, and he can do that without a problem.
All righty.
It's perfectly pleasant. It didn't make any money. It's not going to stick around. If it's on, cable at 2 in the morning next year and you're bored,
okay,
you could
maybe
do worse.
All right, sounds good, sounds good. And the movie still people need to catch while it's still in theaters, and it's about to leave soon. The Old Man and the Gun. Now this is Iowa City.
No, this is playing locally.
Oh, it's local now too.
Yeah, it started at Iowa City, but now it's playing locally.
Okay, good news.
It is Robert Redford as an 82-year-old real-life bank robber named Tucker Carlson, I believe his name was, who robbed 16 banks. Kept getting thrown into prison. I take it back. He robbed dozens and dozens of banks, but he was sent to prison 16 times and escaped 16 times. Wow. It's a fascinating story. And so this takes place right after his latest release from prison, where he starts robbing banks again.
Of course.
And he just does it for the fun of it. I mean, which makes him charming. And of course, it's Redford, so how can he not be charming?
Yeah.
It's a perfectly pleasant movie, which sounds like more of an insult than I mean it to be, but it has Sissy Spacek, who's fantastic in it, and Casey Affleck and Tom Waits. Any chance to see Tom Waits on screen is kind of great. Yeah. And while Robert Redford gives exactly the same Robert Redford performance he's given for about 55 years.
Of course.
It works.
Okay,
I mean, and he says at least it's his last movie role. So I think there's going to be a lot of built-in nostalgia and sentimentality with going to see it. It's a perfectly fine, if he's going to go out, this is not the worst way to go.
Sounds good. Sounds good, for sure. All righty, and now this week's movies, the ones coming out this weekend, a little early look at these. We got the Queen biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody,
a tiny little band.
Absolutely, yeah. I know people probably haven't heard of him, but his name was Freddie Mercury. He had this tiny little indie band in the early 80s, culminating in this event at Live Aid. It's Bohemian Rhapsody, it's We Will Rock You. And so it's basically showing how the band got together in the first place. You've got Rami Malek from Mr. Robot playing Freddie Mercury, not doing his own singing, but doing apparently a fine job of replicating it. And that's not a deal breaker for me. I'm okay with that. The reviews are not good so far.
Early look out.
Yeah, it's getting killed. I haven't seen it myself, so I'm going in with the benefit of the doubt. But I'm a little nervous.
It does seem a little extra, but know, you wouldn't have Queen any other way.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah, I guess you're right. It kind of has to be over the top. It
Yeah.
even has 2 directors, to be honest.
Okay.
So that's how big this thing is.
Yeah, very, very big. So we'll see. Yeah,
Yeah.
it doesn't look good as far as critics go, but maybe enjoyable.
But and the
nonetheless.
music, we know the music will be good, and apparently
Yes.
it ends with the a recreation of the Live Aid set, which is
yeah.
12 to 15 minutes, and so it's
Wow.
basically just that 12 to 15 minutes of performance. So
It'd be worth the price of admission.
yeah,
alone, for
that
sure.
sounds like a possible Oscar nomination if Malick can pull that off.
All
That's
right.
yeah,
We'll see for sure.
Okay.
Okay, cool. And now we got one for the family this week: The Nutcracker in the Four Realms.
Yes, that's the title, but it's the Nutcracker.
Okay,
it is
just
the
the
Nutcracker.
Nutcracker.
It's exactly the Christmas story that you all know and love about Clara, who finds a Nutcracker under the Christmas tree and gets taken off to a magical realm with dancing and costumes, and 4 of them actually, 4 realms.
Oh man,
as we've learned from
Very
the title.
specific.
Yes, it has Morgan Freeman in it, as Keira Knightley
Mm-hmm.
is in it as well. It looks incredibly colorful. It looks incredibly busy. It looks incredibly loud in a
Mm-hmm. Yes.
way that the Nutcracker itself isn't. But we'll give it a shot. Family audiences, I guess, need something to go to,
I guess so.
over the holidays,
Yeah.
and this might be one of the things they have to
Might be a
feel
little-
like they have to go see.
might be a little early for Christmas, but
It
who am I
feels
to
like
say?
it to me.
You
It is November, so.
I've already listened to Christmas music, confession, for sure. Okay, and the third movie, Tiffany Haddish comedy, Nobody's Fool.
Nobody's fool. Tiffany Haddish plays a woman who's just released from prison, gets picked up by her sister. Her sister is talking about a man that she's been dating online, but it turns out that this guy may not be the wonderful kind of gentleman that he's making himself out to be,
don't
and
say.
he might actually be catfishing her. Yeah, I know. Hard to believe in the 21st century that,
Yeah, that
the internet
happens.
can be used for evil as opposed to good. But you have Tiffany Haddish, who is just one of my favorites.
Lovable.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
became great so quickly. If you
Yeah.
think the Girls Trip was just 14 months ago or
Wow,
something like that.
yeah.
And she's already a megastar.
Yeah.
Her sister's played by an actress named Tika Sumpter, who played Michelle Obama in the romantic
Okay.
comedy South Side by You a couple years back. She's
Okay.
terrific.
All right.
And every once in a while, Tyler Perry, I think, comes through with something that's really, really winning. I love the
right,
Medea
yeah.
movies in general.
Oh, me too.
I'm a big fan. But when he strays away from that, sometimes kind of great things happen as well. And we
All
got
right.
Tiffany Haddish. How bad can it be?
All right, fingers crossed.
I said, and now
Don't
next
jinx
week
yourself.
we'll talk. Right?
Don't jinx yourself. All righty. And lastly here, this one is in Iowa City you got to go to,
Yeah.
but trippy-looking horror remake, Suspiria.
It really does look trippy, yes. This is a remake of a 1977 movie by Dario Argento. It's a classic. This is being directed by Luca Guadagnino, who directed Call Me By Your Name last
Okay.
year. Big Oscar nominations there. This is taking place in an exclusive dance studio and academy, kind of a world-renowned ballet company in Europe, and Dakota Johnson from the 50 Shades movies plays the lead dancer. And it's a creepy facility. There's witchcraft. There's missing people. There's
Yes.
it looks all sorts of scary because you got Tilda Swinton as the ballet mistress, and
Yes.
anytime Tilda Swinton shows up, bad times are in store.
You should have known.
Great times as an for performance-wise, because she's amazing to watch. She's so great. But apparently she plays 3 roles in this.
Really?
As the ballet mistress, another kind of mysterious character, and also an 85-year-old European gentleman. So she is buried under pounds and pounds of latex
Yeah.
and pulling off a pretty good 85-year-old man, from what I hear.
for sure.
So, yeah.
All right, kind of unique, but
Yeah,
something
for
that people
sure.
might
Long
enjoy.
movie, 2.5 hours plus. So,
Okay, let's
yeah.
hope it still moves
Bring a sack
quickly.
lunch
We'll
or
see.
something. You know.
That's good. Extra popcorn. All righty. Well, thanks so much again for being here.
Oh, my pleasure. You bet.
Interview. The new movies this weekend are Bohemian Rhapsody, Nutcracker in the Four Realms, Nobody's Fool, Suspiria, and you can read Mike's movie reviews inside the latest reader on stands everywhere and online at rcreader.com. We'll have all this posted on our website, rquadcities.com, and we'll be right back after this.